So, it's dark, it's late, computer's updating. While I'm waiting for that, I figured I may as well keep trimming, shaping, sculpting, rounding things out. Doing the best I can right now. Finding materials. I thought I'd do a little bit of a test. This is the skin I'm going to be using for large parts of the structure on this. Just a spandex. Let's see if I've got enough of it, or well, let's see what happens when I stretch it over. See if I've got enough sculpting done to deal with those angles on the shape. No, not quite. You can still see the angles. They're not nearly as bad. Let's pull this tighter and see what happens. Get the level of compression that we're going to have when we actually make this thing properly. And yeah, where the compression matches, those angles disappear, those lines go away. Where the compression sits, you can't really see the lines as much. That's what we're going for. So it is going to be compressed by, well, each diameter is going to end up losing about an inch, which will take a lot of that down to a curve. Most of it, actually. I think that's pretty good. As I trim down all the pieces that need trimming down. Got some cardboard to cut up to do the plates inside the joints, because the flat of the joints on both sides is going to have a cardboard plate on it on all four surfaces, so that they'll ride against each other, and there'll be a stitch row holding it all flat. It'll be pulled in and stitched. So that is going to be an open space, but that's okay because you're going to be wearing clothes. You won't be able to see that. As far as the sculpt, I think I did a pretty good job. It's not amazing, but it's pretty good. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, she got butt cheeks. That worked. Good enough for me. All right. We'll keep adding to this video bit by bit as I get more done. So, I'm beginning to feel like Dr. Frankenstein here. I've done a little more trimming, round everything out so that the compression actually makes it flat. That's good. So none of the cut lines are going to show up when the skin's on. I measured, marked, and cut the hands, which are just going to be flat hands. They might fold a little bit, they might bend, I might put some armature wire in there, make something out of that, but I doubt it. I think it's just going to be a mitten over top and a stitch line separating the fingers. That's to be determined. Today I ventured to the dollar store in hopes of finding a styrofoam head. I think I'm going to have to make a trip to Walmart to do that, because the only thing they had, the closest thing I had to a styrofoam head was a ball. It is roughly the size of dimensions of a human skull, but then I'll have to build foam out on top of it. You know, build a face. We'll see what happens. Okay, so we got this far. And turns out can't put a head on it until I can get a head. What I have to do is get a styrofoam head, which, should be a couple of bucks. I can pick them up at dollar store when dollar store has them in stock, but they don't right now. As best I can get, it's not good enough. What it's got to be, because it's an anime character, the head's going to be bigger than... this would do for a standard human skull to build on top of, but no, the head's got to be bigger. So I get a styrofoam head, which is a little bigger than this, to build on top of. Then I can build the form out with various foam, various, plastics and everything else. And then I already have the facial structure and the nose built into it, which makes life easier. But what we can do right now is some assembly. Laying in the cardboard plates that are going to be in these joints to allow it to move back and forth. And yeah, pattern and project changes constantly as new ideas pop into it to make it easier. So instead of running fabric over, allowing the joint to compress this way, and stitching it along here, I'm going to take cardboard, make a folding hinge, which will still be stitched through, but it'll create a plate here that stops this from being compressed this way. And, that disappearing would alter the figure when it's finished, and I don't want that to happen. So we got this laid out. That's the top and bottom plates of the joints, which are going to be split like that, lapped in together so they'll create a hinge, a fold. For the arm, for the knee, or for the elbow, for the knee, and for the hip joint. That's for the left. I got more cardboard, because I'm going to be able to do the right, big one out of this. That'll go in the recycling after. But those are going to have to be spray glued on. After which, this much at least will be all in one piece. Which, that's a good thing. Okay, so I guess first thing I got to do is take all these pieces and stack them somewhere. Looks like she's going to be sitting on the couch for a while. I keep thinking if I ever make one of these to sell, I'm going to have to make a cardboard coffin to ship it in. I'm wondering how disturbing that would be. But, get on the cutting board here and start cutting cardboard. And the cardboard's going to have to be trimmed after the fact too. Slightly smaller than where the line is. I'm already bringing it into about a 1/4 inch or 1/8 of an inch in some places, just to make it convincingly round. And once they're made, I'm going to have to copy them onto the remaining cardboard to to make all the ones for the right side. This is for the left. There's two. We'll cut the rest of these out and then show you how they go together.